Come on, Austin, wake up.
Okay. In your last point, you brought up how we are essentially we are doing our plan multilaterally with other countries through Cyberstorm, correct?
But not your plan.
Yes.
Your plan
And
is Cyber.
okay, and is Cyberstorm open to Russia? Has Russia ever come to Cyberstorm?
Russia hasn't come, but it's
Okay.
open.
It is open to Russia.
Yeah.
Would you please bring up evidence how it is open to Russia?
Okay, I just don't know.
Okay, that would be great. And, and you brought up how doing this plan with other countries is bad, correct? How, oh yeah, sorry. You brought up how doing our plan with just Russia is bad, correct?
It brings up disadvantages.
And
with
the
other
disadvantages are that other countries would feel left out.
Like, what we were trying to say is that why are we singling out Russia to do this when there are so many other countries that have the same problem? There's no reason why we should do it with them.
if we showed you why we should do it with Russia, would you agree that that point falls?
Why should you do it, Russia? I think we could just come up here and counter it again.
Okay, that would be a great thing to do.
See, he's getting you to agree to exactly what I was saying, which is, unless you got a reason not to, so you want to still be sitting here saying, no, because it causes bad repercussions. And he asked you what those were, and you basically said, well, why single out Russia? Instead of saying what those bad repercussions are. Do you see?
Yeah.
You need to be on point there that it's bad to single out Russia, or else you're going to lose the point.
Okay, I can re-ask if he has.
No, it's fine.
What? Okay. And you brought up in your first point under inherency that the U.S. at 2012 will be having a bigger budget, correct?
We are increasing this year, 2011, by $105 million.
And does spending more money equal fixing the problem with our infrastructure?
Well, in effect, yes. But if we
Okay.
don't give them more money, then they'll just have the same thing to work with. They can increase their realm and
Okay, and
do
how
more
is this
things.
money that we're increasing our budget going to Cyber Command?
What?
How is our increased budget? How is the money that we're increasing our budget with going to Cyber Command to fix the problems we've brought up today?
It's not going to Cyber Command because
Okay.
Cyber Command is not the answer to all of our problems. We've
Oh.
already showed you what the answer is.
Okay.
It's the blue pill.
And you brought up essentially you brought up trying to re-explain what Cyber Storm was, and just to clarify, Cyber Storm is essentially a war game.
I would say that's what.
So we're playing World of Warcraft 7 days in a row. Is that what you're saying?
No, actually,
What
it's
is
a
a
very
war game?
effective game. Okay, that's just a term for it. Now, this isn't like your normal sit on a video game kind of play. This is like pure coding and solving problems. They'll shoot in viruses and other things, and then you
Okay,
have to
and
try
can
and
you bring
figure
up
out how to
evidence
defeat them.
saying that that's what they'll be doing?
Yes.
Okay. And another thing is another thing under improving relations. Is there a you brought up how since we're just doing this with Russia, we'll need to do it with other countries, correct?
We'll say, well, yeah, it's.
Okay, and is that bad that getting more loopholes closed with other countries? Is that necessarily bad?
No.
But no.
Okay, thank you.
Austin, you can
I was
go with
like-
it. You can go with it. Your partner will save the bacon. It's all right. Okay, hey, we'll clap. Yay! All right. I know I wanted you to do your 1 AR, but we're over time already. Here, I'm going to tell you things. Okay, are you ready for me to tell you things?
I'm ready for criticism.
I am very ready.
Okay.
You all
This is
suck.
mostly at Being Neg. That went on video, Nate. This is mostly on Being Neg. Okay. Because you guys both need to work on this, but then more. First of all, summarize every quote. If you make a quote, summarize it. Okay, just especially for you, Andy. That's a rule. If you read a quote, say basically it said, because you sound 10,000 times smarter when you tell me basically it said, because you use big words that make sense. You said like we're more susceptible to penetration. Like, oh yeah, that's what that says. I get it. But when you were reading this long thing, I totally didn't get it, especially since you were stumbling over it. Okay, do that. Second of all, when you are negative, understand how your arguments beat the case and the resolution. Do you understand what that means now?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And say that.
Okay.
That's what impacting is, and you're going to lose your negative rounds if you're not doing that. Because you're making me do that. And they're not even getting it. So that's the key to debate, really, is to put these arguments out there and then show this alone means their case dies because. Which means the resolution dies. Which means the negative team wins. You know, without saying it exactly like that, you don't want it to be like this game about winning and losing, but
So, in certain instances when you are going, you're negative, you can say that we should not change our policy towards Russia. But sometimes you can take the stance of saying that, yes, we do need to change our policy, but they're not doing it right.
You can do it both.
yeah,
You can
well,
do both
yeah,
rounds,
you're doing
right?
both. You're saying today in the debate round, you haven't seen the resolution affirmed. Maybe we should change our foreign policy with Russia because there are some priorities they've laid out, but we don't have a case laid out that shows you how to do that. So today you need to vote no. Don't change our policy towards Russia because there's not a good enough way to do it.
Okay, got it.
Okay, the thing that I liked the most, I just randomly wrote this down, about your 1 and C was every time you refuted a point that they made,
Yeah.
you gave some arguments and stuff, but you started with, my partner showed in cross-examination this. That was awesome.
Really?
It's awesome. So few teams do that. So many teams, and maybe this is, I think siblings do this better because they kind of get what each other is thinking, but many teams, he just debates his points, he comes up and cross-examines, and then he mentions his own cross-examination, and you do the same thing. So you guys being a team like that, fabulous. Talk about things that they have to do, like burden to prove, and everybody make a point and then drive your point home. Do you understand? This is debate. Debate is putting a point out there and proving it. It is not offering proof. It's putting a point and proving the point. And the point proves the thesis, which is we win or they win, basically, right? So you want to understand that everything that you're saying drives in a direction. Negatives need to understand how their points interact in the round. So basically this is just understanding the stock issues. But for example, inherency does not necessarily mean that their case is being adopted in the status quo. And I think you guys started to get this. You guys maybe even started to get this. Inherency means their harms are being solved in the status quo.
Okay.
It doesn't mean Cyber Command is solving their harms. That is a contradiction. It means that the things we're doing, the initiatives we have in the status quo, mean you don't need to be scared about cybersecurity being worse than a nuke or this threat that's unique to US and Russia anymore with their case or the status quo. We're addressing those threats. That's what inherency means. Solvency means their advantages don't happen, so there's no reason to vote for their case, right?
Yeah.
So you need to understand how that all flows together and be able to say that. The last thing really is that you need disadvantages of some type, or else you're all on defensive ground. So you guys are getting there. You have ground that you can make disadvantages from with your thesis, which is we've got stuff going on in the status quo, or we need a multilateral solution if we're doing anything international at all, right?
Like saying when like they're playing with throw a monkey wrench into thing, have like
Yeah.
reasons why. Like
Yeah.
okay.
That's exactly right. So you still make all the same arguments. You beat the case on its face, but you show a little bit of why not.
Yeah.
Why not change if we're already fixing it? Because you're messing up the other initiatives going on, and that leads to bad things. You know, if you have an example or two, that's great. Yeah, to do, because we didn't get to rebuttals, if you haven't, go to the Ethos blog and click the rebuttals tag or search rebuttals. There's a video from Lindsay C. talking about how to do rebuttals. And it basically is sort of what I'm talking about, how to do constructives, about driving towards a point, but she shows you how to drive towards voters and really how to bring it home in rebuttals. It's like a, 20-minute video talking about how to do that. So you should go watch that. Okay?
Yeah.
Questions, thoughts?
Is there a way to easily make it easier for the judge to write down the arguments? Because that's
Yes.
what I was really having a problem with.
Yes, you tag them. Now here's what you were good at. You were good at saying the they said part. These guys weren't as good at that. You were good at saying, my opponent said this. but you were not good at saying, and my answer is this. So Samuel, you've got to come up with 3 to 5 word arguments.
And pay attention when I say stop.
Okay.
3 to 5 word tags. That's what you need every time.
And get that when I'm flowing, I guess, or
When you're creating your outline for your speech, that's when you do it.
okay. All right.
Any other questions, thoughts?
Just know that this last tournament, it was just really bad for me of impacting. I didn't impact at all,
Yeah.
like very well.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you guys think?